360, the karate podcast that is going to bring you only the things that you want to hear about the karate world. You're not interested in anything else, any other podcast. This is the only one. Welcome to the show. I'm Richard Mosdell.
And I'm Kalan Anglos.
Let's get started.
Karate 360, let's start the show. You will kick high and I will sweep low. From local to global, it's the thing that we love. Karate! Sanmokumaru. Back in studio.
All right.
The Karate 360 podcast.
The AI is back.
The AI is back. It's taken over. It's never going anywhere. Well, here we are back in the Karate 360 studio.
We are. It's a fantastic space.
It is a fantastic space. You can see the official Canada Olympic flag. Thanks to everybody who's tuning in right now on Facebook Live. We appreciate it. Coming at you early. You thought we were going to be at 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time? Well, we came early.
Psych.
Psych. Gotcha. Here we are.
You're scrambling like crazy.
You never know. That's why you have to follow us on Facebook, because that's what we'll let you know.
Absolutely.
Week, Daniel Gaysinsky. But before we get into that,
Red Sox.
I made it back from the Americas.
How much money did they take you for?
Oh, they got me. They got me in the door.
Yes.
They got me. They saw me. I was wearing my Red Sox shirt, and they said, "I know that guy right there. He's come on up here. We got this." And I said, "I'll take all of it."
Take all of it.
Yeah, it was just surreal. It was.
Put me on a payment plan.
That's right. Don't worry about that. Yeah, it was crazy. First Red Sox game I've ever been to. You know, been a fan my whole entire life. First game I got to see. It was great.
This is a karate podcast, so every time you hear baseball, just switch it with karate.
Switch it with karate, and it'll just make exactly the same sense. They didn't score one single run for me.
Wow.
They lost, and they didn't score a goddamn run.
Because they just kept waving at you. Hey, Kalan.
There he is.
Oh, the ball.
Yeah, that's
right. Hey, Kalan.
That's right. I knew that the Ultra fan was in the building. So.
Yes.
It was still fun. It was
you know
still a good
what?
experience.
It's reverse psychology to make you go to Boston to see it on home turf.
That's right. You know what? Because I was saying afterwards, okay, I went for one game this year. Well, next year I'm going to go for 2 games. For the 2 games. That way, better chance of winning.
Exactly.
And then if I don't win that one, then I'm going to Boston.
Yes.
So there it is. But it was good. Seattle, though, not the cleanest town in the world.
Slam. Throwing shade. I'm so sorry, all my Seattle friends.
All of them?
Yeah, Seattle's not Vancouver.
No. Well, Vancouver's not the cleanest either.
It's a different place.
Well, yes, it is.
Different place.
I was just surprised. Seattle has some really nice spots by the Space Needle. That's where we spent most of our time.
It's very industrial.
There. Very industrial. I didn't even know Boeing started there in Seattle. I didn't know that was a Seattle-based company. What are you looking at me like that for?
He's young, everybody.
Did you know that?
I have been in the Boeing building.
Oh, okay.
It has the curvature of the Earth. It's so big.
Okay. No.
I also know that Boeing moved their head office to Chicago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, that was a big thing.
Yeah, Boeing started there. And there's an awesome aircraft museum.
That's right. We didn't go, but I heard it was nice.
It's awesome.
Yeah, because the big 3 companies that we talked about was Boeing, Amazon, and Microsoft.
That's right.
All starting in Seattle. So it was cool. It was, new experience.
That's cool.
I'll go back next year and see some more Red Sox.
Seattle. Yeah, Seattle's neat. There's lots of it has a different vibe and it's really different than Vancouver, Victoria.
Yeah, for sure.
It's quite, you cross the border. It's different, but it's a neat place to go, especially from here.
Yeah.
It's
easy.
City.
Didn't exactly enjoy the Clipper ferry ride over though.
Oh yeah, it's choppy.
It's choppy. Somebody got a little seasick on the way home.
Oh really?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Filled a couple bags worth of
cow.
seasickness. It was not good. It came out of nowhere too. Like it was pretty bumpy, and I thought, I'm not feeling so good, and I started like sweating randomly. I was like, oh, what's going on here? And then it was like real sick. And I look over my girlfriend and I go, I'm not feeling very good. And she just runs away because she gets crazy. She's like, okay, bye. And she just leaves. I was like, what the hell? Like,
no support.
And then there's this older mom that's over there too. And she handed me one of her bags.
Yes.
Thank you. So yeah, I got a little seasick on the way home. They give you those little ginger candies, but those don't do anything.
I think it's one of the reasons and this is very local now, folks, the Pacific Ocean water and the inland seawater, so the Juan de Fuca Strait and the Strait of Georgia, that's where they hit.
That's what they said.
And then boom,
it gets.
I've got caught in a canoe in there.
Oh yeah, you remember you saying this? Yeah.
So but it's the nice thing. It's a quick, easy place to do. It's only a 20-minute airplane ride, right?
Really? Are you serious?
I'm serious. It's only 20 minutes.
Well, I'm taking an airplane.
It's actually cheaper to go to Japan. This is a good tip for everybody. It's cheaper to fly through Seattle to go to Japan than it is to go through Vancouver.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I guess just because it's from.
I think $200-300 cheaper. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So I've done that quite a few times.
Okay. Have you gotten your tickets for Japan next year yet?
I haven't bought my tickets for Japan next year. Sometime I have to go because also next year is Art Styles World Championships
That's right.
in England. And I also want to go to that because I think for some people in our style, going to your style world championship can be your only chance to go to a world tournament.
Sure.
You know, the all nations.
Yeah.
So I have not yet bought my ticket. But it's listed on the board of March, August, or December. Yes. March is really like end of March is really nice with all the cherry blossoms.
That's what you're saying. Yeah.
Are you thinking?
Absolutely thinking. Yeah.
Let's do it.
Let me know. Let me
Let's do
know
it.
when you're going, and we'll figure something out.
You guys are welcome.
Now I'm in Seattle. I was in Seattle. Missed, unfortunately, the Daniel Gaysinsky seminar that we had
that
here
was
in
fun.
Victoria. He came all through BC, really, but he was in here in Victoria on Monday
night,
Monday
4
night.
hours, 4 to 6, 7 to 9. Awesome, fantastic.
Yeah.
You know, and we'll, you know, if you he's going to come out again, so we'll bring him out again.
Yeah. And for anybody who's been living under a rock and don't know who Daniel Gaysinsky is, you know, Pan American champion. He was the K1, I think it was K1 Toledo silver medalist.
Yep.
Just rising through the ranks, 4 or 5-time Canadian national champion in Kumite. So just a great guy to come in.
He's a heavyweight, ranked 7th in the world right now, and this could be his shot to make it through to qualify for 2020.
Yeah.
So very strong. What's really interesting, he's 22, and he started karate, I think, when he said he's 6, and he got to the national team when he was 14.
Okay.
He switched clubs, so he's training with Roman's club out in Ontario.
Yeah.
Shout out to Roman. And so he was on the national team during his teens, and then had some knee injuries, had to have knee surgery. It was about maybe a year and a half ago, and decided that, okay, dropped out of third year. I think he was in chemistry.
Okay.
And then just said, after the surgery, dedicating my whole life to karate to see if I can make it to 2020.
Wow.
Took out all the non-karate distractions in his life, and now started having success.
Yeah.
2 times a day training.
Imagine that.
Yeah. Imagine just training.
Just training 2 times a day.
2 times a day.
You gotta figure it out.
And it's getting a little bit of support. It was tough, I think he said, for his parents to understand what he's doing, but now it's going through. And you know, it was really neat because some of the stuff he was presenting is stuff that I'd seen before, but not the way he was presenting it. And he was really great with the kids, with the adults. His energy was up. His jokes were good. He pushed everybody, kept it all really safe. No, it was great. It was great to see a nice tune-up of where you can be at.
Yeah.
And powerful and fun.
And what you were saying too is like a lot of the concepts behind the drills you've seen and practiced since even like the 80s.
Yep.
But now it's like got kind of a newer spin to it.
Just,
yeah.
his way
tweak here, tweak there.
Here's a little way of tweaking it. Some of them are exactly the way we used to do them.
Oh yeah.
But just, it was great to see him really strong at these drills.
Yeah.
Like really, really strong. And just talking about just growing and developing as a person. And we'll talk more about that in technical tactical.
That's right. But when we get there, one thing that you did say too that I found surprising, I lost it. I completely lost my train of thought there.
Okay, something about him training.
You said something earlier today in class. I lost it. It's gone now. I know what it is. Found it. Came back. In his dojo that they don't do sparring very often.
Free sparring.
They don't do very much free sparring. It's just all drills and sparring like drills.
Yeah. So putting you in a situation where you can only do 1 or 2 things, and then you have to get really good at those 1 or 2 things.
Sure.
So that when you're in a free sparring situation, you're like, wow, I can do anything. This is great.
Yeah.
And then you're ready. You are drilled, trained for every type of thing you're going to do. Because he said when they were doing lots of free sparring, there were more injuries.
Yes, and that's the one thing with sparring too that you see quite often is injuries. But at the same time, a lot of coaches like the free sparring because it is the most close to an actual competition.
Yeah.
It emulates competition.
And people like to do it.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think it's dependent on the person.
Yes.
I think
clearly it works for them though.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, doesn't they say for Conor McGregor for a couple of his fights that they did no free sparring before the fight?
Possibly. Not that I know he's sparring quite a bit for this boxing fight coming up, but yeah.
And but anyway, I think, and then what they say and what they do is totally different,
Of
right?
course.
So
yeah.
no, it was great. And so if anybody has a chance, one of the neat things is, it was funny because just before he came out, I said on my daily vlog, I said, get as close as you can to the Karate Sun. Closer you can to Karate Sun you are, and the more time you just spend there, the better you get. It's like anything, right? If you really want to be good at something, you get as close as you can to the what's happening.
Yes.
Right. And so then when he came out, that was exactly it. You could see everybody just light up. And what was nice is we started the sports karate program in March, like 4 times a week. Had we brought him in March, it would have been too early.
For sure.
There's a lot of people who wouldn't have been ready.
Absolutely.
But a lot of people were really ready for this. They could really do it. Like they could take the concepts and stuff.
Yeah. Great seminar, great athlete, great guy to have around. Needs to work on his interview skills. Needs to work on his interview skills. So Daniel, if you're listening, and I know you are, start practicing now because people are going to want to talk to you.
Yeah, exactly. Then it was funny. He knew who Gary Vaynerchuk is because he's a Russian Jewish immigrant, right?
Okay, yeah.
So is Gary Vaynerchuk, and Gary says with athletes is your time is limited. As an entrepreneur, you get your whole life. You can keep doing business your whole life, right? As an athlete, your time is limited. So get really good at knowing the people around you. Not knowing unnecessary people, but knowing the people around you and get good at talking to them because that's all leverage.
Yeah, for
you
sure.
can open doors later.
For sure.
Right? For example, we had the media come. So when I sent them a press release that, current Pan Am heavyweight champion is coming to give us a seminar, then I sent them their news release again, and then they came.
Nice.
So I think Saanich News tomorrow. If you guys look up Saanich News online, you'll see pictures of the seminar and stuff.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be awesome. So there it is, Daniel Gaysinsky with his seminars. I think he finished up on his West Coast seminars, and now he's heading back east, I think.
Yeah, he went to 4 places in 4 days, 5 days.
Crazy.
Yeah, we'll bring him. I think we can bring him in again in November.
Great. So keep an eye out for that. Lots of great takeaways from there. And, just follow along with that. All right, let's get into a little bit of our Karate Global News. Okay, in the Karate Global News world, we had the World Games.
Yeah.
So the big World Games, the last time that karate, hopefully, probably, will be in the World Games.
That's right.
Because, again, you can only be in the World Games if you're not already an Olympic sport. So this is the last kind of go for now for karate to be in the Olympics. Happened there last weekend. And, we have the results. We have the results from the
some
World
heavy investigative journalism found them.
That's right. We had to dig, but we found the results. We also need to let you know a couple of the top players not there, like Agiev was not there, and I don't think Douglas Bros was there either. So a couple of the key players missing out on the World Games this year, but still a lot of highly ranked talent there, and some great matches, some great upsets too, actually that went on there.
Yeah,
the World
absolutely,
Games,
yeah.
So.
Oh, actually, Daniel was saying he fought Agiev a couple of years ago.
Oh yeah, really?
And
At Pan
he
Am,
tied it 5-5 in a practice match.
Okay.
At a tournament, and so they really went for it. And he said that he used the term break step, like his setup step bounce going was really quick.
You can see it. Yeah,
that's cool.
All right, so let's dive into a little bit of the results from the World Games. So it went over 2 days, and we're just going to give you the gold medalists for these ones. So what we'll do is we'll start at the bottom. I'll say the division, you say the champion. Maybe if you want to say who they're even up against. Let's see. Let's start at the bottom with men's kata at the World Games.
From Japan, Kyuna.
Kyuna won 5-0 over Damian Quintero. So Quintero takes the silver medal in that one. Antonio Diaz won bronze also in that one. Moving on, women's kata.
From Japan, Kyo Shimizu.
Shimizu still undefeated, I think, in 6 years. Hasn't even lost a bout. She did win 4-1 in that one, 4 on the flags, to Jamie Sanchez from Spain as well.
Sandra Sanchez Jamie? Sandra Jamie Sanchez?
Something Sanchez Jamie. Whatever it is.
There's a video of Sandra Sanchez training that's been bouncing around on Facebook of her training, lifting weights and stuff. It's good.
So Kyo Shimizu, the female kata champion. Moving on now, women's kumite, minus 50 kilograms.
Alexandra Recchia from France.
And these are going to be a little bit random, guys, because they are not in order. So we're just going to go through this. Men's kumite, minus 60 kilograms.
Firdosi Farzalev from Azerbaijan.
And women's minus 55 kilogram.
Valeria Kumizaki from Brazil.
And men's kumite, minus 67 kilograms.
Steven Da Costa from France.
And Jordan Thomas from England won silver in that one. Oh, it finished at 0-0, so he won.
So went to Hante.
Wow. So Steven Da Costa from France beating him there in the minus 67. And Tom Scott, for our American listeners, got 4th place in that one. He lost in the bronze medal match. So he got 4th place there for Tom Scott. That was the first day of competition at the World Games. It did go over 2 days. days, the 26th and the 27th. So we're going to look at the 25th, 26th. So we're going to look at the results now from the 26th. And again, these are just the gold medalists. So moving on here. Let's see the division. Whoa. Let's go.
While he's doing that, just letting you know it was in Warsaw, Poland, which is in Europe. Wonderful place to visit.
What else can you tell us about Poland? Now, here we go. All right, women's kumite minus 61 kilograms.
Alexandra Grande from Peru.
And men's kumite minus 75 kilograms.
Stanislav Horuna from Ukraine.
Women's kumite minus 68 kilograms.
Lamia Motab from Algeria.
And men's kumite minus 84 kilograms.
Zabelia Porshab from, is it Iraq? If I say Iran and you guys kill me, then this is in trouble.
I think it's Iran.
It's Iran. By the way, it is Iran.
It is Iran. There we go. Beating Ruta Araga.
That's right.
So
Araga lost.
Losing in the finals. Women's kumite plus 68 kilograms.
Ayumi Uekisa from Japan.
Also winning 0-0. And then finally, men's kumite plus 84 kilograms.
Hideyoshi Kagawa from Japan.
And that's the results from the World Games in Poland.
That's right.
There it is. So, yeah, just a couple highlights there. So, yeah, Araga wins silver, and Iranian athlete Porshab wins gold. That was a 2-1. Again, Tom Scott finished fourth. Kiyoshimizu wins gold again. She also got Athlete of the Day. So World Games that goes throughout, I think, 10 days. Each day there's an Athlete of the Day award. Kiyoshimizu won the Athlete of the Day on the 6th day of the competition. Rio Kiyuna also won gold. Damian Quintero second, Antonio Diaz third in the men's kata, and Sarah Cardin won bronze at minus 55 kilograms. We talked about her earlier from Italy, but so she won bronze. So there it is, the World Games results from Poland. We will put that link on the Facebook page as well as on the post when we put the podcast on there.
Awesome. Yep, that's really exciting. And they did not they're still using the regular weight divisions.
That's right. So
they haven't switched over yet
to whatever the Olympic ones are going to be.
That's right.
We don't know, but hopefully we'll find out that soon. All right, so moving on to the next Karate Global News, we looked here that the AKF has a name change.
That's right, it has a name change.
They dropped the do.
The Michi.
The Michi, what's that? The
road.
The road.
Karate do, Judo, Kendo,
yes.
Aikido. Yeah. It's on, you guys can't see it here, but it's the middle kanji on the wall over there.
Okay.
Right? So it just means Michi means the road, but the idea of the way, the purpose, the way you're moving forward.
Okay.
So karate do. Some people think karate do is, it's more than a sport. It's a martial art. It's a spiritual way. But this, and even in Karate BC, the tagline that they have, which they had for ages, it's karate. It is the provincial sport organization for karate. And then in brackets, it says Karate Do. Okay. And in brackets, it's just to let all the traditional people know that we are actually doing Karate Do.
Traditional, yes.
But this is just a simple name change. Now, from the outside, I would say it's just to make it sound normal, like World Karate Federation, not the World Karate Do Federation.
Right.
From inside, you don't know if that is a reason for a major changing. So, but very simple. Just align it with because everything now, if people are going, what's the difference between karate and karate do? Get rid of those questions. It's like, what is the world championships and that world championships and that world championships? Just make the distinction clear and straightforward.
There it is. Our final Karate Global News here in Kenya. So let me just read you this headline: Japanese karate grandmaster who has made Kenya his home. Yeah,
this is pretty amazing, actually.
So this is a gentleman, Tamura, who came to Kenya in 1971 as a volunteer from Japan and then made Kenya his home and stayed there and taught and trained karate.
So what Japan has been doing, like way back since the late 50s, early 60s when the country came back, is they started promoting Cool Japan.
Cool Japan.
Cool Japan. The term Cool Japan has only come out recently. This is called soft power.
Okay.
So soft power is when your culture, like music, art, sometimes light business, language, all that gets popular in other places.
Okay.
So that's soft power. So karate, the globalization of karate is soft power. It's like soccer. Soccer is soft power. However, the original country it came from is the distinction that it's British or whatever is gone, right? Karate still has a feeling of tie to Japan.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yes.
So this is their soft power. So they've been sending around people to teach. And this guy, he was it back in 1971?
1971.
He was on a tour and he just decided to stay.
Just stay and teach karate.
Stay and teach karate. And there's a lot of these karate instructors who, you know, they grew up under a lot of stress. Like in 71, he was 25 years old, right? So he would have been growing up when Japan was being rebuilt and realized, you know, how poor it was, how hard it was to struggle, see a place like this. And even though it might also be poor, he could see a place for himself.
Sure. I like it says here, he was dismissive at first of the contribution of martial artists famous in Kenya for movies depicting high-octane karate fights.
Yes.
Among them, Bruce Lee, Jet Li, and Jackie Chan. And in quotes, he said, many of them make up many things. They do things I've never seen of or heard of.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And he just wanted to promote good karate.
Yes.
You know? Yeah, so it's interesting to meet people like this that are around. Also said here, this is great. He's lived in Kenya for 40 years, never been in a street fight.
Oh, yeah?
Now, again,
in Kenya.
You know, he's also from Utsunomiya, which is an hour north of Tokyo, where my wife's family is from. So it's an hour by bullet train. Yeah, this is pretty cool to see that, you know, he just went somewhere and and also he wasn't doing Shotokan, he was doing Goju.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so good for him, Mr. Tamura. Good for you for hanging out there for so long.
And we know you're listening.
Because we're global.
That's right.
That's right.
All right, that's our karate global news of the week. All right, let's dive in to a little bit of our tactical.
Okay, well, I want to just go over one of the main themes from the Daniel Gaysinsky seminar.
Great.
And that was, hey, if you don't want to get hit, don't be in a position to get hit.
That sounds like a good one to me.
Probably the two words he used the most was controlling distance.
Okay.
And how to control that distance all the time. So some of the drills we did were we're in a fighting stance where he said, you know, your thighs should be kind of tight because they're working, your ankles are bouncing, and your arms should be loose. And you should be able to move almost in a crab position, right, in different directions. And when you're moving around, you don't want to have a high bounce. Like he was saying, years ago, world WKF like level fighters would bounce really high, but the thing is they wouldn't have any time to react while both feet are in the air.
Right.
So if you look at the videos now, they bounce a lot lower and quicker footsteps near the ground, so that you can react to something. And then when you're moving around, never to move in angles where your feet come close together.
Too easy for a takedown.
Too easy to take down, and then you can't react. When the closer your feet are together, you can't do anything from there, right? So there's a really practical drill for everybody. It doesn't matter if you're competing or just in the dojo or just for fitness, is getting like a shikodachi, but angle a little bit more like a sparring stance, and, you know, have even just 2 cones, 2 points, and bounce between them. So bounce forwards, bounce backward. You can throw 30 cones all over the floor or 30 gloves a meter apart, and then be bouncing between the cones and going side to side, forwards and backwards. Again, really fast little hops in the ankle.
Loosen the arms.
Make the arms really, really loose. Everything's about controlling distance. So then when he was doing drills where you were attacking or something, is all you had to do was just slip slightly out of distance, let the other person's energy move out, and also the ability to move in really fast.
Yes.
Yep.
We hear, Craig Devlin say, the national team coach, often says, kumite is timing and distance. And then sometimes I always say is you want to control the fight, control the movement. And it's exactly what Daniel Gaysinsky was saying. Like you want to control the distance, you want to know the distance, but those drills are great because they not only help you use your distance, but they also help you find out your distance. Like how far can you be away to score the point? How far do you need to be away so they can't score a point? That kind of thing. So it's really good. It just gets you thinking, on your own distance instead of actually trying to just drill it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then when you decide to do the technique, he's like with your arm, think about your arm before your body.
Yes.
To reduce the amount of telegraphing. And
my
like sensei,
throw your arm for,
my sensei always says that, like just a slight feeling of the arm before the body. And I remember Toki Hill saying that too, like slight feeling of your arm before your body moves.
Yes.
Just to A, get it going fast, and B, reduce the chance for the other person to catch it.
Yes.
Yeah.
It just comes out a little quicker.
So it was great to see how quickly most people got jammed up when they just couldn't move.
Right.
They just got stuck.
Yeah.
I can't remember who he's telling me about. There was somebody, I think, from Italy that they brought over to Canada, and they were just practicing in the dojo, moving around together. And then they actually had to fight each other, I think, in Rotterdam at one of the K1s, and he beat the guy.
Oh, yeah, really?
Sorry, I can't remember his name, so you guys have to look it up. But he said they spent so much time just bouncing and just with each other, like 20, 30 minutes. Their legs were just burnt.
Yeah.
But it was exactly what he needed to know if someone was coming, how you can move around.
Great.
You know? So it was great. It was great. So if anybody, anytime they're in the dojo, that's what you need to think about, right? So
yeah,
controlling distance.
There it is.
Tactical.
All right. Little fitness training tip of the week for you guys. And this is something I've been thinking about. We've talked a lot on this in the videos that we've done on building that rotational power. So training to build the rotational power to have that quick punches and that quick rotational movement. But I kind of got thinking a little bit, and I thought, well, it's different for kata athletes and for kumite athletes, if you think about it. In kumite, you want to use that rotational force to generate the power to get the punch nice and fast, but you also need to bring it back, right? You also need to get the point and then pull back, so you need both directions. Well, in kata, it's a little bit different. You need that rotational force, you need that fast movements, but you usually pop and you hold your kime, you finish, right? You finish that there. So I got thinking, well, how can we train to get that kime finish a little bit more? And it's very similar to exactly how like boxers or people that actually, impact, how they like to train. We don't talk so much about rotational force or rotational power. We look at like stiffness and muscular stiffness in the core. So not actually being able to rotate the body so quick, but being able to have a stiff core and stiffening at the right moment to make that impact. Or in kata's case, to get that kime. So different ways to kind of do this is you want to still have that impact force of some kind. So even doing the medicine ball throws that we've talked about, even doing any types of core exercise with an impact. So have somebody hold a bag, do a medicine ball throw, do a punch with a weight on your hand or whatever, and impact and really focus on that finish, really getting that core aligned. I mean, you talk about all the time in kata is you really want to align your spine so you finish in that perfect position. So you really want to practice doing those type of techniques with some kind of resistance. A band is a great way to do it, but also focusing on that impact. So hit a bag or hit something like that. And then other kind of core exercises that you can do too to help build that stiffness in the core, just basic like planks or anything where you're just like kind of engaging your core and you're holding it nice and stiff, or anti-rotational exercises.
Anti-rotational exercises. You heard it here first.
Exercises.
Not anti-gravity, anti-rotational.
Not anti-gravitational. No. Sorry, you screwed me up already. Anti-rotational. Just basically take a band, do a kind of like a rotational twist, but then slowly resist it pulling you back. So when it wants to pull you back, use your core, keep your core nice and tight to resist it pulling you back, because it's very similar to how you would finish a technique in kata or if you're impacting something.
This is really cool. First, we're gonna do that tomorrow night in our class. Thank you for giving me my lesson.
There you go.
And second,
$50, please.
Oh, there you go. Do you take Bitcoin?
At this point, I will. Actually,
true. It's going up. I know. Kids in my club who are really getting good, because we do a lot of planks now. They're really getting good at planks. Their kata is nice.
Yes, for sure.
They have really good core. Totally. I was really impressed. Like, I can, right off the top of my head, I can think of some kids right now. And I remember when, this was almost 6 months ago, when you were talking about core strength and doing planks. I was like, hey, that's it. Every class we are doing planks. We have been every class.
That's awesome.
And the kids are really good at it, are getting really good shoulders down, back tight, not swaying.
That means they're doing the planks correctly.
Exactly.
Often when you think of like core exercise, you're thinking like crunches and sit-ups and that kind of stuff, but that stuff doesn't really translate to any sport performance. It's the planks and all that kind of stiffening things up, getting in the right position and holding it there for as long as you can, and just really being strong in that position. That's what's going to relate more to not only sport performance, but also injury prevention, which of course is important for athletes as well.
Right on.
There it is, your fitness training tip of the week.
Fantastic.
All right. Well, this just about wraps up this episode of
Holy moly, fast again.
Fast and furious. That's how we're coming at
you.
Full
with information.
Full of information, full of value.
Exactly.
A couple upcoming tournaments. By a couple, I mean just one. August 24th to 26th is the PKF, the Pan American Karate Federation Junior Cadet and U21 Championships in Buenos Aires.
Ooh,
Do you know where Buenos Aires is?
It's in Argentina.
Do you know what province that is? Not province, but what continent that is?
South America.
Do you know what they are known for?
Tango.
Oh, very good. Wow.
And wait a minute. The dictator
I don't know what the dictator is.
What was his name? What was his name? Oh man, I can
It's not
almost
Che
read it.
Guevara, is it? No.
No.
I don't know.
There was a famous dictator there.
What mountains are there? Last one. Last trivia question.
Patagonia. Am I right?
No.
Oh, am I right? I'm wrong.
Andes Mountains.
Andes, sorry.
There you go.
Where is Patagonia Mountains?
I don't know. Not in Argentina, that's for sure.
I'm going to look it up.
Actually, I don't know. Maybe it is. But anyways, those are August 24th to 26th. The PKF Junior Cadet and U20 ship. What?
Chile.
Oh, in Chile.
Sorry, Chile.
Well, we're not going to Chile.
Okay. Andes, of course.
There you go.
That's where, wasn't the Andes where the rugby team crashed in the airplane and then in the snow and the glacier and they had no food and they were stuck and they couldn't get out. So they ate the dead bodies.
Did you just give me the plot of a movie or something?
No, it's a true story.
It's an actual true
which
story?
became a movie later.
Okay.
But it's a true story. Look it up.
Okay. Look it up. There you
Look
go.
it up.
More value here on the Karate 360 podcast. That's really the only tournament coming up in the WKF world is the PKF Junior Cadet and U21 Championship. So we got about a month away from that. So we got some time there. And then, of course, some local club tournaments and stuff.
There was then U.S. National Championships.
That's right.
The last few days.
Yes.
We've been trying to find the results for 2 seconds. So we will find them by next week, hopefully.
That's right. We'll have those from the USA Nationals.
We can tell you what that's like.
Perfect.
How it was.
There it is.
Right on.
All right. Well, thanks for tuning into this episode of the Karate 360 podcast, guys. Again, Thursday nights, we do the Facebook Live. Join in for those. Join the conversation. Send us some questions. And then Monday mornings, they become available. And we'll go from there.
Awesome.
All right. I'm Kalan Anglos.
I'm Richard Mosdell.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll talk to you next week.
San Rokumaru.